Hey, it's Margaret Wallis-Duffy, and welcome to WOWTV. We're here on a beautiful night in Halton Hills, and I'm so excited to have with me my co-host for the evening, Sharon Caddy.
And I am excited to be here. We have so much going on this show. A lot of the show is about healthy, active living, whether it's food, whether it's activity. Chrysalis Yoga is going to be on site telling us more about yoga and how you not only do it in the studio, but you can also do it poolside or anywhere at home as long as you have a mat.
And of course, Dr. Vic, our resident naturopath, is here in the house talking to us the impact that toxins can have in our home. And of course, Maria Brito, a fantastic real estate agent, is on site to talk about what we should be looking for when we're buying or selling a home.
And our good friend, Chef Mike Banninger, he is going to be firing it up in the outdoor kitchen. Some great ideas for entertaining, healthy food, delicious food, and we're going to be helping.
And we've got some great giveaways for our live studio audience as well as everybody at home. So make sure you follow us live on #WowTV. We've got a great show coming your way. So stay tuned, interact, engage, and good luck because we've got a great show ahead.
Stick around.
Healthy home inside and out. It's going to be a great show. And to kick things off tonight is Dr. Victoria Resendez, our naturopathic doctor, who is going to be here to talk about the impact that toxins have on our health. Now, the air quality in our home is crucial, isn't it, Vic? What do you think about that?
I would definitely agree with you, Mari, that air quality is essential, or healthy air quality is essential for a healthy home. Two things that I really want to touch upon, if I can, are we all do home renovations. This is a season for home renovations. But what you really have to be careful for and to ask your contractors about is to make sure that when they are doing home renovations, that they're doing a survey and looking at the materials that are being disturbed, if they're going into drywall, if they're going to the ceiling. There's always a potential for asbestos to be exposed or to be disturbed, and that's really when it becomes an issue. So that's something definitely to talk to your contractors about before any work is started. The second thing I just wanted to touch upon is something that's relatively unknown and is emerging as a health hazard, and I think we'll be hearing more about in the months and years to come, and that is radon. And if you haven't heard of radon before, much like carbon monoxide, it is a clear, odorless, invisible gas. Its effects aren't as acute as carbon monoxide, though. It is something that is more chronic, and we get exposure to it on a regular basis. Now, in normal levels, it is in our air. In normal levels, it is relatively harmless. But in certain areas, it can be higher than what is considered safe, and that's when it becomes a health concern. We don't really know. It doesn't matter whether a building is old or new because it is actually coming from the ground and the stone below the dwelling. That's where it's being exposed from. So we don't know what houses can be affected necessarily, but the good thing is that it's relatively easy to test for. So you can pick up kits at Home Depot, at Walmart. Consulting companies like Pinch & Environmental offer these to homeowners as well. I believe they're between $50 and $100. And what you would do is you would put it in your home, test for about 90 days, I believe is what they would recommend, and then you get a reading from there, and they can tell whether the radon exposure is at acceptable levels or normal levels, or if it is a bit higher, then it's obviously important and you're able to do something about it. But really, testing is the only way we would know if our house is being exposed to potentially hazardous amounts of this gas. The concern with radon particularly is that Health Canada has actually deemed it to be the second leading cause of lung cancer in Canadians. So it is definitely something that is important to check and relatively easy to check on. And if you do have high levels, it is something that can be remedied. So keep an eye out for that the next time you're in your local hardware store. And if you have any questions, by all means, you can reach me and I'll give you some resources to check out that as well. So take care, happy renos at home, and keep it healthy.
Thanks so much, Vic, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you know, when we're looking at preventative health, it's equally as important to look at the health of our home. And what better person to do that with than Maria Brito, who is a real estate agent, but also a community health advocate. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Margaret, and thank you for having me at this beautiful residence in Georgetown.
Absolutely. What a beautiful evening. And when we're talking about a healthy home, when you're working with families and looking at the health of homes, what are some of the things we should be considering?
Well, you know, Margaret, so much of healthcare is looking after our bodies and preventative health and the long-term benefits of good maintenance. Exactly the same as a home. You know, like anything valuable, you must look after it. It's got to have that constant maintenance, and you have to, you know, get onto a weekly checklist, a monthly checklist, and of course there's always the annual items that have to be looked at. When we're walking into homes, so many items we tend to find that are overlooked. For instance, walking into a basement, some of our biggest culprits are the reservoirs from the humidifiers that people let sit all summer that they're not going, or the dehumidifiers when they put away for the winter and then they sit in holding tanks in the reservoirs and they just get that scum on the top.
Right.
You know, so much of that mold builds up. Again, keep looking around the basements, around the window wells. We've had a very harsh winter. Really have to watch to see how much of water has dripped through and what has happened. Clean the sills, just general maintenance. Kitchens and bathrooms are real pet peeves of mine. You really, really must do that daily. In a shower, after the humidity builds up, in the winter months our windows are closed, so you're just relying on that vent. That vent needs to be cleaned. Dry the tiles because it doesn't have that mold buildup. Dry the little, you know, the marble sills around the glass and the mirrors, all of that, and you must disinfect around the toilet.
Right.
So much is what builds up there, absolutely.
Yes, and if you're buying or selling a home, these are the things to consider because you're going to get better value out of your investment.
Yeah, and I tend to have you have a keener eye as a realtor when you're walking through because you're looking at the same thing over and over again. Kitchen's another thing, salmonella.
Yes,
Huge culprit there. And what I find, you know, we have those fancy little garbage bins, and all around the garbage bin, if they're kept inside a wall, even the new fancy ones that pull out. Very often we find that nobody cleans the insides once those bins are out and disinfects them. So a lot of, simple things that should be done on a general scale every week. And train the kids to do it. You know, it is so important because then you breed another generation of being able to preventative health, preventative maintenance, and on the long run, you save money.
You do. And now I know because we're finishing up here, you've got a wonderful checklist. You can go to your website. We're going to share it with everybody in social media to help you at home make a difference in the health of our homes. Thank you for joining us. I hope you'll come back again on another show.
Anytime. My pleasure, Margaret. Thank you.
Thank you.
We often pay attention to the health and functionality on the inside of our home, but there's another room in the house that we should be paying attention to. I'm excited to have with me now Dan from Tailored Living to talk about this special room. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks, Margaret. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. So, you've got a real special room to share with us today.
I do. Let's take a look.
Wow, so this is the room you were talking about, the garage, but this doesn't look like a typical garage because that doesn't look like a typical floor. What's going on here, Dan?
Well, basically, in Canada, our winters are very harsh on your floor. You know, the salt and everything that drips off of your car eats up the porous concrete, and then over time, it just gets worse and worse and worse. This floor in particular is probably one of the worst cases we've ever seen. The spalding was over an inch deep. We had to go in and put a skim coat of a polymer bonding on top just to level it all out. Then on top of that, we put the epoxy coat floor base. Then we put the color flakes that the customer chose. And then we put a clear coat of epoxy finish on top. So that gives it a nice strong bond that makes it actually stronger than concrete.
Which is great in terms of structure and investment in your home, but I'm always interested in the health. What I love about this floor, tell everybody at home the impact it can have on our health.
Well, basically, the porous nature of the concrete absorbs all of the toxins, all of the oils and the gases and whatnot that are emitted out of your car, carbon monoxide as well, and holds it in and then releases it at the most inopportune times, like when you open your door to your house. What the epoxy floor coating does, it makes it impermeable to all those things. All you need to do is simply wash it with the hose, and it's perfectly clean. You get an oil spill on the floor, just a quick wipe up with a rag and some dust and some grease cutter, and you're good.
I love that, and as a mom, that's so important because toxins in our body and in our home is not what we want. So I love that. But now I look around, there's so much more we can do in here to make this an actual functional space. Can you tell us what's planned for in here?
We have a grand plan actually for this family. What we're going to do along this wall, we're going to put slab wall on here so they can hang up their bikes and put everything there. Along here, we'll have a nice big tall cabinet that we'll be able to store all the pantry items. You know, we come back from the big box store, you've got a big huge bundle of toilet paper and paper towels. All those things will be stored in the cabinet here. And along here, we'll have double layer cabinets. We'll have a lower layer here where they'll be able to store tools and all that kind of product. And up here, they'll also be able to have some pantry items as well. And here we'll have a countertop where they'll be able to stage for whether the product goes into the pantry storage area or if they're going to bring it into the car, into the house. Over here we'll have a place where the kids will be able to take their boots off and store them underneath. That way they won't be bringing any dirt into the house and they'll be able to hang their coats up on top.
Fantastic. So now all of a sudden we've got a full functional room, but I also understand you can make this room fun for the men in the house, kind of like a man cave. I'm thinking a big screen TV on that wall. What do you think?
Absolutely. We've seen that, and we've done that in several homes where they've got big screen TVs. The guys all congregate. They bring their chairs. They sit around. They drink their beer and they smoke their cigars. The women don't want them in the house anymore, so they can hang out here and have a good boys' party and watch the big game.
Now, of course, we want to know as homeowners, what kind of time is this going to take? Because, time is money and it's very stressful in the planning stages. What does it take to do something like this?
It takes about 2 days to finish the floor, depending on the situation. This one took us actually 2.5 days because of the extra work we had to do, but typically we're in and out in 2 days. The cabinets are done all in 1 day.
And I do understand you can even do some cool branding on those cabinets if you want to get fancy.
We do. We have some exclusive licenses where people who are Ford collectors, they have their Mustangs, they love their Mustangs. We have Mustang cabinets that we can do. It's really cool.
Well, I can't wait to see the finished results of this home in this garage. Thank you so much, Dan, and of course, Tailored Living, because you really do take organization inside and outside the home to a whole new level. Stress-free, functional, and even considering our health. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we moved over for a little cooking in the great outdoors. I am up here in the outdoor kitchen with Chef Mike Benninger. Great to see you, Mike.
Lovely to be back, Sharon. Lovely to be back.
Well, when it comes to summertime, outdoor cooking is key, and hamburgers, hot dogs, all this stuff's cool. It's fun to do something different. So what are we doing today?
Today, quesadillas.
Okay.
Mexican favorite. Very simple to make, though. A few simple ingredients available everywhere, all the time.
Okay.
Basically, some peppers, jalapeno, sweet, some cheese.
Right.
This is a marble cheese, jack cheese. You can buy all the various components everywhere, and tortillas.
That's pretty simple. In this
very simple.
particular instance, we're keeping it really simple. This is like a vegetarian version.
This is a vegetarian version. There are 3 kinds of tortillas: whole wheat, whole grain, and of course the plain original ones that are here. Today I happen to have some original ones, so we're going to use those right now. They come in 2 sizes: the 7-inch and the 10-inch.
Okay. So what have you been doing here?
Well, all I did before was basically fry some peppers off. Now, what I like about this recipe is that there's no time constraints to it. You can make this filling up 3 days or 4 days in advance.
Okay.
So if you're kind of pressed on the weekend, you make up a big batch of this, have your tortillas ready, put them in the freezer, in the fridge for 3 or 4 days, pull them out, give them some time to thaw, and they're ready to go.
Well, that's kind of nice too. If you're doing some outdoor entertaining and you don't want to be at the grill the whole day, you can cut some of that time down.
And that's how they grill up too. Very simply, very easily. Takes about 2 minutes to do. We'll cut that one up a little bit later.
Okay.
For now, we take our filling. This takes about 5 or 6 minutes to make. Again, bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, some barbecue seasoning, some cheese, any cheese you like.
Right.
Some sour cream if you want to add a little bit, or some cream cheese for a little bit more richness. I want a healthier version, a little lighter version, so I just kept this one with a little bit of cheese and just the peppers.
And just nice and simple.
And a bit of jalapeno.
Right. Now you mentioned like sour cream and stuff. Are there other dips? I'm a person who loves dips, and I love when I'm entertaining to put out different dips. Could you put out some different stuff with this?
Oh, guacamole.
Oh, yeah.
Guacamole, any kind of salsa you want, any kind of the traditional Mexican salsas, which are much finer, the green or the red, as they say in New Mexico. they're really, really nice. So all you do is take your filling, put it on one side,
Right?
so it looks like this. And then here's the trick, and this is the trick I learned a long time ago. We'll do it up here so
Okay.
everyone can see. Fold it over and use the side of the tortilla to press it in flat. Don't overfill.
Well, then it's everywhere.
Everybody wants to
Yeah.
stuff them full. And what ends up happening if you stuff them too full is they fall apart. You just use the heat to squeeze the tortilla in, and that sits flat. That can be in your fridge for
Right.
3 or 4 days, or your freezer for about 2 months.
I'm guessing as well, overfilling would really make a messier barbecue.
They make a terrible mess and they blow up. So I've got one in the barbecue right now, which I made a little bit earlier. When you see this one cook up, this is nice and thin.
Okay.
Takes about 3 minutes. Oh, that's a little hot.
You would be too if you're
And
sitting
you want
on
to do
a
it in the barbecue. Takes about 3 minutes to look like this. And you want to be very careful when you do this. This will scorch very quickly. But you see how thick that is?
Yep.
Not too full. You don't want to have too many stuffings inside. It'll just fall apart.
Right.
I like to go in 4 pieces. And today we're going to go with the traditional accompaniments of just some salsa and some sour cream. Lasts forever, healthy, rich. If you want to use the corn tortillas, it's gluten-free. Here's a little barbecue seasoning on top. A little extra cheese just in case.
And this is popular like main dish, or this could be a great appetizer.
Oh yeah.
If you got
well,
that going
actually, on my personal chef menu, I actually have that as an appetizer.
on. Nice.
But you can make it vegetarian, or use meat. You can use pork. You can use chicken. You can use duck if you want.
Awesome.
Works very, very well.
Well, you know what? People have been following us on Twitter and sending in comments, and I know Paul over there has been tracking all that. Hey, Paul, anything coming in at hashtag WOWTV for Chef Mike?
Oh, yes, we have, Sharon. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for interacting on hashtag WOWTV. And don't forget to follow Chef Mike at chefmike.ca. This question is coming in from Sarah Henson. Do you have any suggestions for using citrus in a marinade for grilled meats? Would that work?
Actually, citrus is an excellent marinade for everything except for beef. I'm not such a big fan of citrus and beef together. I think the flavors are a little strange. It'll also change the texture if it sits for too long. But citrus, lemon, lime, grapefruit, orange all work beautifully with duck. They work beautifully with chicken and beautifully with pork.
Thanks so much, and good answer. Now, this is one of the things you mentioned with your personal chef business. Tell me a little bit about that for people that might have not ever thought of having a personal chef come into the house.
Well, personal chefs like myself, what I actually do is I come in and I do dinner parties, I do cooking lessons, I do backyard buffets. I also do a lot of interactive things like media presentations, things like that, where you're spotlighting different products. In this case here, the quesadilla itself. Very simple, very elegant, an easy preparation, but something that allows you to have your own spirit, your own individuality to make it whatever you want it to be.
That's kind of neat, and something that, I mean, as I've gotten to meet you, I learned a little bit more because I'd never even considered the idea of having a personal chef, and sorry, man.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
But I got to tell you, something that really surprised me is that really it's no more expensive really than going out to a nice restaurant.
Actually, if you're a wine drinker, I become very inexpensive very quickly.
There you go.
I don't begrudge the restaurants charging what they charge. They have expenses and they have bills they have to pay. But when you're going to a restaurant, you're paying 2 or 3 times the LCBO price for a bottle of wine. All of a sudden, someone like myself, especially if you're having 7 or 8 bottles of it over the course of the night, might get a little bit more reasonable pretty quickly.
Well, Chef Mike, this is looking great, and I know you're going to be cooking with Margaret coming up a little bit later. We'll have more coming up on Wow Living TV in just a moment. Well, here we are at the Naked Sprout, joined by Connor. And first of all, thanks for welcoming me into the kitchen.
Thank you for coming.
Now, we're talking about a wonderful restaurant here that serves vegan food. Now, for people that know vegetarian, but vegan, you heard the word, what's the difference?
The difference is you're missing out on things like dairy. And when I say missing out, it's really an advantage. Because there are so many things that come as an advantage with a vegan diet. And what it's about is it's not all vegetables. You're not eating carrots and lettuce and so-called rabbit food.
But you can.
You can, if that's your thing.
Right.
But there's so much diversity in your meals.
Right.
And that's what we really try and show people here.
Okay.
That veganism, it's not just a diet, but a lifestyle. And that's what I'm going to show you
Well,
today.
now we're going to do, let's get started, because we're going to do something that if you were saying we're going to do vegan food, I wouldn't think of manicotti.
No, this is something that blows people away a lot of the time.
Right.
This is actually vegan and raw.
Okay, now there's another thing. Raw. When we say raw, we mean?
We mean nothing heated above 47 degrees Celsius, which means in a lot of cases you end up using a dehydrator instead of an oven and just not cooking things, which sounds like a crazy idea to a lot of people.
But there's got to be some method to the madness.
There's always a method.
Yes.
And not only that, it's actually very good for you.
Okay.
It's a very healthy diet.
What are the benefits to raw?
Well, when you have raw food, because it's not cooked, you don't have a breakdown of the enzymes in the food.
Right.
And you also, everything in it is a lot easier for your body to digest.
That makes sense.
It's easier for your body to break down the protein into amino acids. And it's just easier on all your organs as a whole.
Okay, so first of all, what do we put some pasta sauce on the bottom?
That is raw pasta
Raw
sauce.
pasta sauce.
It's made with tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, onion, garlic, and red wine.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It is very good.
And then on top?
Then on top, we have a little ball of massaged kale here.
There is now, I've learned this, but for people that hear massaged kale, it sounds like very pampered vegetable, but there's a reason for massage the kale.
Because kale, if anyone's ever bought it and tried it right off the shelf, it's very, very fibrous.
And a bit bitter. Yeah.
So we massage our kale, we take some lime or lemon juice and salt, and you just really work it in there, and it breaks it down so it's easier to digest, easier to chew, and it tastes amazing.
Changes the taste. Isn't that interesting? Now, what did we just put on here?
That is actually a bruschetta mix typically, but in this dish we use it sort of add body, add flavor. It's got olives, tomatoes, onions. It is spectacular.
Wow, okay. And then the manicotti. Now, we're talking about raw and manicotti. So, what is a raw manicotti?
So this is actually kale creme fraiche wrapped in eggplant. And the eggplant is dried out, dehydrated, and then wrapped in there, and it's all put into a dehydrator for a few hours. And again, it just tastes amazing, and if I didn't tell you, you would probably never know that it's actually raw.
Wow. Now, for people that are thinking about, they'll come here, they'll try the food, it's great, and you want to adopt, whether it's vegan, whether it's raw, vegan, whatever, how do you start to adapt that into your regular day-to-day eating lifestyle?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing you need to do is just take it in steps. It's not that easy to wake up one morning and just decide you're never going to cook anything again, or you're never going to have a steak or a burger again. But you can take small steps. Maybe it's, you start out with one meal a week that's vegan or vegetarian, or, one meal a day. And it's like any skill. You just build on it and you learn all these new recipes, these new
different
ingredients. And it's a lot of fun if you take the right approach to it.
Making that switch in your diet, what are you going to feel? Like, how is it going to change how you feel? How is it going to change your overall health?
The number one thing I'd say you'd feel is definitely more energy. You just feel, it's almost like you feel lighter inside, because your body doesn't have to work so hard to break down everything. And it's very, very good for you. You get tons of vitamins that you would miss out on, tons of nutrients. But the other thing is, you really learn to watch your diet, and you really build, and it becomes an integral part of your lifestyle.
Right. I guess for people too that are entertaining the idea, and it sounds good and you want to be healthy, you want to feel good, you want to feel light, there's always that, but where are you getting your protein from? But there's lots of protein in this.
Yeah, there is actually tons of available vegetable and plant proteins. Big things, typical ones you hear, nuts, beans, but there's other stuff that a lot of people haven't heard about, tempeh. Unless you're a vegan or vegetarian, that's something you don't usually hear about.
So a great place to start to learn is by coming somewhere like here, the Naked Sprout. You can actually try stuff, learn, and ask questions, right?
Yeah, we are always happy to hear questions, and we actually run workshops as well.
That's kind of important too. Now look at that. How appetizing does this look? That's
I want to eat it right now.
I know. You didn't bring us forks, knives, or anything, but that's just one of the great dishes here. And I cannot end this without touching on the desserts. You guys do some pretty awesome desserts.
Yes, we have an actual dessert chef who specializes in vegan and raw desserts, and they are phenomenal. And that's her thing. and she does it very well.
She certainly does. So we want to invite people to check out the Naked Sprout. And like I say, come in, not only try the food, enjoy the food, love the food, ask questions, learn about veganism.
Yes.
And learn why it could make a big difference in your day-to-day life. Well, thanks for, I say we go grab some forks and dig in. What do you
Sounds
think?
good to me.
We'll send it back out to Margaret.
Wow, did that ever look delicious? And what's really exciting is that Naked Sprout has given us a $50 gift card, which we are about to draw here in the social media hub. So all of our audience has got their names in here, and we're ready to draw someone.
Let's do it. And don't forget, you can follow Naked Sprout at Naked Sprout on Twitter. And our winner is Brian Duffy.
Congratulations, Brian. That's fantastic news. You're going to enjoy a fabulous dinner at the Naked Sprout. And of course, for everybody at home, you can tune in to WOW TV with our partner, Talk Radio. Listen up, Talk Radio, by visiting www.talk-radio.ca. Now, you see I'm wearing this fantastic apron, and CBC Live Right Now has been very generous and are giving us 20. 10 are going to our studio audience and 10 to one of the viewers at home. So make sure you interact with Paul in social media. And
Hashtag WOWTV.
Hashtag WOWTV. And we will be contacting the winners very, very shortly. Now, of course, I see some action over here poolside. Sharon, I see you're doing some yoga. What's going on over there?
Well, thanks, Margaret, and we will have more viewer giveaways coming up shortly in the show. Now, one of the giveaways we did was to the Naked Sprout, which is part of a wonderful complex I love to go to, Naked Sprout and Chrysalis Yoga. Great to have you here, Clayton.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome.
Chrysalis Yoga, I can speak personally, one of my favorite places to go. This is a full-service yoga facility. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we have a hot studio as well as a regular temperature studio. We offer tons of classes, over 50 a week, starting at 6 in the morning, going till 9:30 at night. And again, there's a lot of hot yoga. There's also prenatal and kids yoga and family yoga. Meditation and gentle yoga and restorative yoga and all kinds of different yoga classes for everybody.
And some great workshops too, and some specialty classes. I mean, you guys really do things to make it not just mundane, boring. Like there's always something that catches even someone that goes all the time like me.
Absolutely. So we've hired a whole bunch of different types of teachers that teach different styles of yoga, and we've given them free reign to teach their style. So what's beautiful about that is we have a lot of teachers that will bring their own personality into it and teach things that are crucial to them and that they want to share with their students.
Now, we have a couple of the instructors doing some poses behind us today.
We do. We have Andrea, one of our teachers, and we have Shanine, the owner, and also a teacher.
Yes. And we're watching some poses here, some that look more difficult than others. I find that for people, if I tell them I do yoga, and they say, I can't do yoga because my body doesn't bend in all these... and that's not the case, right?
No, I mean, that's the funniest thing is I talk to people about coming to yoga and they go, well, I can't touch my toes, so I can't come to yoga.
Yeah.
Well, you can't touch your toes, therefore you should be coming to yoga, right? So you can learn to touch your toes. But no, you're right. I mean, anybody can start at any point, and we have a great course called The Foundations, which is a 4-week series where people can come and learn how to feel comfortable dropping into any class. Really,
so you
learn
don't feel
all the basics.
awkward.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
because for someone coming in, you might feel a little intimidated, especially if you come into a class where everyone seems to have been there a million times.
Yeah.
But I also find, though, that what I love with the instructors is that they always ask who's new or who hasn't been a lot.
Absolutely.
And will guide you and give you alternate things you can do.
Yeah, the teachers will always try and give variations, both for beginners but also for more advanced people. They'll try and give you a range of how to do the pose differently to cater to your level of ability.
Right. Now you have a special event coming up, which I find really exciting.
We do.
Yes.
I just got the t-shirt.
Oh,
so it's
nice.
Journey to Freedom. It's a 24-hour yoga and meditation, music, art-a-thon at Cedar Bend, Camp Cedar Bend in just outside of Burlington. So it's 24 hours, September 21st, 22nd, and the website is myjourneytofreedom.ca. We're raising money for mental health facilities at 3 local hospitals.
What kind of stuff will we be doing for 24 hours?
We'll be doing 24 hours of yoga. Yoga and meditation, and you can join us for like an hour or half a day, or some of us are challenging ourselves trying to do the whole thing. So it'll be... it should be fun and exciting.
It will be, actually. It'll be a lot of fun. A chance to come out. And I know also from going a lot, I make a lot of friends. I've got new friends I never had before. And this is just one of the events where you can meet up with your friends and do this.
Yeah, it really isn't. I mean, we call it a challenge, but it's really not, that we're pushing people to do this for 24 hours. It's more like come out and hang out with like-minded people like you do at the studio and get away from sort of the mainstream of stuff that you're normally doing and just meet some neat people, have some cool conversation and do some poses.
Now you see, and I think that sort of leads me into my next question, which was, because this is off-site from Chrysalis. What the ladies are doing behind us here is off-site from Chrysalis. Once you get that foundation and learn yoga, you can can do yoga anywhere.
Absolutely, and that's the beautiful thing. You just need the space of a mat, really. You can do it on your pool deck, on the grass, in your living room, anywhere. And it doesn't take a lot of knowledge, but I do suggest learning at a studio so you can learn the proper techniques, that you're not reinforcing maybe some misalignments in your body.
Right.
But like you say, once you have that, then you can pull out your mat anywhere. If you're traveling in particular, to just stay limber, right?
And stay fit. And I guess for me, constantly going to classes, I find that the teachers must always be going through retraining and workshops and stuff, because I'm always learning new positions, new poses that I can try. And that's key. You do need to go and learn stuff.
Absolutely. So we encourage our teachers to take advanced trainings, or just to go a lot of classes on their own, like to other teachers' classes, because we're always able to learn off each other, and then bring that to your students, and like you say, teach students new things.
Yeah, and now, as someone who's there as one of the owners and a teacher yourself, what are some of the when people come back and say, now I've been doing yoga for a while, the biggest thing for me is...
So there's a few. That's good. I mean, there's some physical ones like weight loss and things like that, but there's also more just mental calmness and more happiness. It's almost like they learn to love their life. So it's really cool.
Well, we'll invite everybody to check it out. Chrysalis Yoga, you're on Palladium
Way and Walker's Line.
And the website, chrysalisyoga.ca. We'll be back with more coming up on Wow Living TV. Thanks, Clayton.
Thanks, Sharon.
Making your home a haven can be a daunting task, and certainly my family felt that way with our beautiful backyard. We needed it to be transformed. But how are we going to do that? Well, let me tell you, Tom Cavan of Stellar Landscapes was the person I turned to. Not only did he make an unbelievable plan and bring our vision for our backyard to life, he is able to actually do all the work and really make a difference in having your house now become a haven, a place where your family can recreate. Perhaps it's where you have dinner, but the reality is it's a great way to assist your do-it-yourself projects and take it to the next level. So if you're looking to design your backyard, check out Stellar Landscapes and Tom Cavan.
Introducing the Air Genius from the makers of Honeywell Air Purifiers. A smarter clean for a smarter home.
And the coolest, quietest, best air purifier ever.
Groundbreaking innovation, state-of-the-art design, powerful performance.
It just really cleans the air in my house.
Most people don't realize how polluted the air in their home can be.
I didn't.
The Air Genius features a patented filter that captures up to 99.9% of harmful particles and allergens.
Wow.
And can even help reduce odors.
I mean, just look at this thing. Yuck.
Ooh.
But hey, just clean it like this, let it dry, and pop it back in. Super easy.
The smart controls within this sleek modern design do all the thinking for you.
Yes.
And clean to your desired specifications.
And it's also really quiet.
Ooh, can you hear that?
Hear what?
Precisely. From the makers of Honeywell Air Purifiers, the industry leaders in air purification innovation, from the patented cleaning technology and intuitive controls,
to its awesome Energy Star rating.
The Air Genius truly is a smarter clean.
For a smarter home.
Hi there, it's Dan Petkoff of Taylor Living of Toronto. I'm here to talk to you today about how we remove the stress of renovation projects. First of all, we start off by giving you a 3D image of what the project's going to look like. We bring a crew in that prepares the space, we install the product, we clean up after ourselves, we leave, and you're happy, and I can't wait to serve you.
Swimming, and I'm going to go to the water park sometimes, and I might go to the lake sometimes and swim. I'm gonna invite people over to my birthday party and for a sleepover. Make some notes to my grandma, and also to play at the park a lot. And I have a new bathing suit. I might play with my dog, and I might be able to use the water guns.
What's your plan for this summer?
So we're back here in the kitchen with Chef Mike, and we made some quesadillas with Sharon earlier. And now we're talking about a main course, a Caesar salad.
Caesar's from scratch.
From scratch. And you know what?
Not from a bottle.
That's the key, isn't it? When I think about cooking, I love to get the kids in the kitchen, and we want to deal with real ingredients, not necessarily real food, and really paying attention to what those ingredients are versus a bottle that we may not know what ingredients are in it. Right.
I've been a chef for 10 years, and I spent 20 years in manufacturing business before. There's stuff in the bottom of some bottles I can't understand.
Yeah, not
so
good.
I don't go that route. What I have here is all real food.
Right.
Natural stuff. Everyone has this in their cupboard.
Right.
Very inexpensive, but real. And that's what's important.
And what I love about this is you get the kids in the kitchen. I'm wearing a Live Right Now apron because we are trying to inspire Canadians to live more active, healthy lives as a family. The kids can be in here doing this. Put me to work, Chef. Let's get going.
Well, I'll go over the list of what's actually in this, because everybody has this. This is the best part about this. So hold the bowl for me like that.
Okay.
Just on one side there. First thing first is one egg yolk. And we need to talk about raw eggs, because there's always a misconception that raw eggs are dangerous. This is a whole egg. Inside the egg is the white. Inside the white is the yolk. The yolk never touches the shell.
Right.
So if there's a crack in the shell, the yolk's perfectly safe. Right. I wouldn't use the white. I'm a little twitchy about that.
Right.
But that's my personal thing. Some fresh garlic. You chop it up. You can mince it. You can press it. You can do whatever you want. I use the microplaner. It's my personal tool. I like that.
Right. Now, for all the kids at home with the microplaner,
be very careful.
Just be very cautious, because we don't want to have any extra ingredients inside the
shaved off knuckles and stuff like that.
That's never good. That's not delicious.
Anchovy paste.
Right.
Anchovy paste, think of this not as fish, think of it as salt.
Right.
Think of it as a transfer vehicle for really, really good flavor.
You know, getting kids in the kitchen while you're doing this, it's a bit of a science experiment, isn't it?
It is.
We're talking about flavors and textures and how they interact together, which is really cool. Kids get interested and fired up about eating healthy food, especially when it's this delicious.
And when it's real food, though.
Right. Exactly.
Kids, sadly enough, are marketed to by the big fast food companies to eat stuff that isn't the best for them.
Right.
This is natural stuff. And once they have this once, and they go out to a large chain restaurant with their friends, they're going to go,
that's not Caesar salad.
Why does Mike's taste different?
That's right. So, or why does Mum's taste different? Because I'm going to do this at home with my kids.
There we go.
All right.
These are chopped capers.
Yes.
Capers are flower berries. They're pickled, and they really add a layer of flavor that really, really tastes good.
Did you hear that? Flower berries.
Flower berries.
A lot of people at home are wondering, what is a caper?
And they've been around for thousands and thousands of years. Now, fresh lemon juice. How companies cut costs when they make salad dressings is they use water, an emulsifier, and vinegar.
Okay.
As opposed to olive oil, lemon juice, and real flavors.
Right.
So this is some real lemon juice, which is much more expensive, not as stable.
Right.
As vinegar is, but I think it adds a much better flavor. So you can start beating that up for me like that.
Okay, that's simple.
So you can do that. I'll get some more lemon juice together. The rest of our ingredients are salt, pepper, a little bit of mustard.
Yep.
And some Parmesan cheese and olive oil.
Simple.
Now you gotta have the mustard, because the mustard has a component called lecithin, which is an emulsifier. Again, back to the science part of it all.
Right.
That helps water in the egg and the oil mix.
Right.
So we just add a little bit of mustard here. Again, any mustard you want, French, Dijon.
Now, and if you want a little
grainy,
bit of Dijon mustard, if you want a bit of spice, that's good, right? But depending on your family's taste, just have a little, be creative.
Exactly. I like lots and lots of lemon juice. I like that bright, acidic flavor. I think it really helps digestion. I think it just tastes better with that.
For sure.
Next, a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Delicious.
Buy the good stuff. A couple tablespoons.
Notice, kids at home and mums and dads alike, that is not in a container.
That's not in a can.
This is a
very familiar shape.
Yes, yes.
Salt and pepper. So let's talk about ingredients for a couple of seconds.
Yep.
Is this the healthiest thing ever? No, because it's got egg yolk in it. It's got a lot of oil in it. It's got lots of salt, lots of pepper. But what it is, though, is natural, real food. And I believe in the Julia Child model. Julia Child, this is some pink salt from Australia.
Oh, very cool. Look at the color.
From the Murray River. Neat. I believe very clearly that you should have the foods that you like. But I'm a big believer in real food in reasonable quantities.
Balance. It's all about balance.
Julia Child was 93 when she died, 6'2". And she believed in eating real food. You can hold that bottle for me.
Sure, you bet.
And she believed in eating everything, but just have a little.
You're absolutely right.
She walked everywhere, and she put butter on steak, cream in her coffee.
Right.
No shyness about on the calories, but she walked everywhere. She did exercise. She did all those things.
You're bringing up a great point. I mean, balanced lifestyle is important, and
Always.
even when it comes to dressing, you don't have to saturate your salad in dressing. You need to use less is more in this case, right?
Have you ever had a Asian coleslaw in a good Thai restaurant?
Yes.
The dressing is much more acidic, and it's put on with a teaspoon. till it's just barely covered. Less is much, much more.
Right. Well, I wish it was smell-o-vision because this smells amazing and it's going to taste equally as good.
Very
But we
good.
got to throw it over to Paul at our social media table because I know there's a lot of buzz out there in Twitter world. What's happening, Paul?
Well, thank you, Margaret. Yes, first of all, I want to say I'm very jealous. That looks very delicious being down here. We'd like to thank everyone for participating on hashtag WOWTV. This question is from Lisa Tosta. She would like to ask Chef Mike if they can substitute chicken with another type of meat.
Okay, so of course, if you don't like chicken or maybe you're a vegetarian, can we replace it with something else?
Anything you want. I'm actually a big fan of honey and sesame glazed salmon on the side of Caesar. I think it's a fantastic thing. In this case here, though, we've got some lovely grilled chicken, which I've grilled myself here. This is the chicken breast. If you want some a little more flavor, the chicken thighs work great, but breasts are a bit lighter, a bit less fat.
Yes.
So we're just going to plate this up. And again, reasonable portion sizes.
You bet.
This would be something that I would think would be enough to share for 2 people.
You bet.
So now we take our fresh grilled chicken. This is boneless and skinless. Again, keeping the calories a bit more reasonable.
Ooh, looks good.
You just lay that across the top.
Oh, fantastic.
And that would be a spectacular table salad for 2.
Fantastic. Well, Chef Mike, thank you so much for joining us. It's always such a pleasure to have you. I hope you'll come back on WOWTV.
It'd be my great pleasure to come back.
Well, I'll tell you, the audience is going to be treated to this fantastic salad very shortly. And of course, for all of you at home, you're going to want to try this because it smells good and it's absolutely delicious. So now we're going to get you moving and taking you to a very creative playground. Check this out. Wallis for Wellness is always excited to promote the CBC Live Right Now movement. That's right, inspiring Canadians to live more active, healthy lifestyles, and it starts right now. We're at a $1 with the Youth Fitness Guy, and we're doing some shopping to put together a play kit. Let's go, David.
Let's go. Okay, Margaret, look what we have here. We've got some nice cones. Traditionally, these are used to mark areas on the field. Kids can run around stuff, but right next to them, we also have these nice little hacky sacks. And these are pretty cool. You can play some catch. Yes, we can play without the cone, but we can also play catch with the cone.
Kind of like an ice cream.
An ice cream cone. We can throw it with it in the cone. Okay. If you want to get fancy with it, you can just start to do some different things. Oh, yeah.
Gotta love it.
Okay, so a lot of eye-hand coordination. We can play on one foot, work in some balance. But most of all, we can have a lot of fun with it.
Who knew we could make a playground in a $1 plus? Who knew a fly swatter could be used for more than just swatting a fly or perhaps your friend or husband? David, what are we doing?
Ping pong ball.
Okay.
Fly swatters.
Got it.
Little cooperative games here. There we go. We're just going to move slowly so far we can go. Steady. Now, since we're so good at this, let's try reaching down, touching the ground. There you go. Nice. And again.
Right on.
Cool. So we can work together. We can play distance pylons. We can do races, whatever. Or we can also play a little fly swatter tennis if you want.
Let's do it. And of course, I heard that it's playtime in housewares in aisle 8. Let's do it. Okay, kids, after you finish sweeping up after dinner, the Youth Fitness Guy is going to show us how to play with the broom.
All right, broom handle each. On the count of 3, you're going to slide down, grab this one before I can grab yours. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Awesome. Let's make it a little harder because you're so good. Let's move a little further out. You got to move your body too. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Last one. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, we did it now. Who said using your broom at home wasn't fun, kids? Get out the broom, sweep up after dinner, and start playing just like we are here in aisle 8. $1 plus. Well, David, what a blast. We can find a playground anywhere, and so can you. Go to abuck2.com, pick up some of these fun things to play with, and then come and play with us. Now, what a blast we had creating a playground in the $1 plus right here in Georgetown. Couldn't have done it with anybody else other than this guy, the Youth Fitness Guy. David, how much fun was that?
You know what? That was the most fun I've ever had in a long time. Just going in there and randomly, some spontaneous play in the aisles. It was fantastic.
And the cool thing is, I mean, we're kids at heart, but we were in the dollar store playing. We've got the kids here with some toys toys that we picked up at the dollar store. And the message is to all the parents at home, it doesn't need to cost you a lot of money to recreate and improve the physical literacy of your children through play.
Absolutely. Take whatever you have at hand. Make use of it. The kids' imagination will create new things out of the tools that they're using.
Kids love to be spontaneous. They're unbelievably creative. Now, looking at two girls, my beautiful daughter Carly and my gorgeous niece Lauren here, they've got broomsticks in their hands. Now, so after they've mopped at home, we're going to allow them to play. What are they going to do here?
They're just going to play a little game of chase, kind of back and forth. They know what to do. They've been playing before. We just kind of stand back and let them happen.
Now, then that's a good point. You know, I think we tend to want to, whether you're a coach, you're a parent, we tend to want to micromanage our child's playtime. How important is it to just let the power of play be?
It's very important. Their creativity, their imaginations will run wild with it as they continue to play. The more we make it work, the less fun it becomes for them.
You betcha. Now, with so many children looking at their devices and not recreating, I mean, really, their faces light up and they're increasing their heart rate. They're helping with coordination. They're really improving their physical literacy. We talk about literacy all the time. We don't think about it in terms of the physical well-being, do we?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. So, girls, why don't you grab one of the other tools that you were playing with earlier?
Now, what I love about this is a cone and a hacky sack, and you've not given them any instruction. They're just going to do whatever they feel comes to their mind.
Whatever comes natural to them. You know, once they get playing, I mean, if we want, we can add a little, try this, try that. But for the most part, it's just letting them go with it.
Now, speaking of a little bit of coaching, I want to give you a shout out because, you know, you're very active in social media. And one of the things that you've reached out to is the New York Rangers Hockey Club.
Yes.
Or they reached out to you.
They've reached out to me.
Tell us what you just did with them.
I was down there for 4 weeks for their summer youth hockey camp, and it was termed cross training for the youth hockey players, and we did all kinds of tug of war, all kinds of things with tennis balls, all just skipping ropes, clothespins, just all kinds of games that they were active, they were moving, they were getting the heart rate up, they were learning about coordination and balance. Just through fun and games.
You betcha. Now, all summer long or winter long, I mean, really, a trip to your local dollar store, $1 or $2 plus here. We had a blast. We were in there for, you can turn anything into a playground.
Yes.
We did it at the dollar store. Why not take the kids and just let them go? Yeah?
Yep.
It's phenomenal.
It works well. It gets them engaged, but most importantly, it instills for them a positive experience with being active.
Right.
And we know that active kids will grow up to be most importantly active adults.
You bet. And when we talk about mental health as well, it's really important. Your children may not be really prone to doing sports, and maybe they aren't athletic, but every child is wired to play.
Yes.
And the impact that can have on their physical, mental, and emotional well-being, their mental health, real improvement. I mean, you can see children, it really becomes the common denominator, doesn't it?
Yes.
For all children, whether they're athletic or not.
Yes, and most importantly, it also brings the adults into it, and when adults can appreciate the value of play, they're more apt to let the kids do it, because we really need to have kids playing every day.
Yeah, and I mean, as adults, we need to bring out our inner child.
Most
a walk
certainly.
to the park, there's beautiful trees around us. When's the last time you climbed a tree? When's the last time you skipped with your kids or just hung out and did something active with them? Now, give a shout out to a really important conference coming up, whether you're a parent, whether you're a coach or a volunteer. The Physical Literacy Conference is coming up.
Yes, Physical Literacy Conference is happening in Hamilton on September 27th.
It's a summit.
It's a summit. It's a one-day summit for all professionals, teachers, parents, coaches, and it's got a lot of great speakers coming in to talk about it. It's going to be an awesome time.
Right, girls, are you having fun? Yeah. And of course, you can see Carly's got her Live Right Now shirt on, and we're living right now here in Georgetown, just hanging out with some toys we picked up at our local dollar store.
Yep.
Thanks to the youth fitness guy, I got to thank you. It's
my
always so
pleasure.
much fun. You bring a smile to the kids' faces, and I know you're going to be bringing smiles to those at home. Give a shout out to your Twitter handle, because they got to follow you.
It's at Youth Fitness Guy.
Thank you so much for
My
joining
pleasure,
us.
Margaret.
It's always so much fun. I hope you'll come back.
I sure will. Thanks for having me.
Now, of course, we got lots more coming. Sharon, what's going on over there?
Well, yes, Margaret, here at WOWTV, we're all about healthy living and also about giving back. Now, I have to tell you, recently I was really inspired by a young lady I know by the name of Ainsley Campbell. Now, she has a lemonade stand, which she works at every once in a while on a weekend, and when she does, she raises money, a little bit for her bank account to learn about business, but the rest to charity, and she's chosen different charities, and I was really excited to see that this time around, she chose Because I Am a Girl. Now, Because I Am a Girl is a part of Plan Canada that really focuses attention on girls in developing countries, girls who don't get an opportunity to have things like an education or to even live a really great life. They're often the poorest in the family. They work very, very hard. They don't get to go to school. And Because I Am a Girl tries to get girls educated, because educating one girl can make a difference not only to a family but to an entire community. Well, young Ainsley set up her pink lemonade stand, and you can do the same. If you go to becauseIamagirl.ca, they actually have an absolutely free downloadable kit. In the kit, you get all kinds of things, all those signs that you see there, to advertise, to put up your prices, even for your money jar, and all sorts of other resources are available. It's becauseIamagirl.ca. Way to go, Ainsley. 2 thumbs up to you, and check it out. What a wonderful effort. Over to you now, Margaret.
Well, Dr. Vic is back joining us right now, and we're talking about toxins in our cleaning products. Now, it's really important to keep our houses clean and healthy, but Dr. Vic, what do you think of all those chemicals that we're using in those cleaning products?
I get a lot of questions about this all the time. And I'll just give you a few pointers to look out for when you are looking for cleaning products. Definitely looking for things that are earth-friendly or eco-friendly. So products that are biodegradable, that are made primarily, if not all, of plant or mineral-based ingredients. So no phosphates, no harsh chemicals or toxins, nothing corrosive. Looking for things that don't have a lot of chemical fragrances or perfumes as well. Those aren't necessary to make an effective product, and we certainly don't need extra chemicals in our homes. A great website that I would recommend for the audience at home and in the studio is ewg.org. It stands for Environmental Working Group. They do a great review and analysis of several different products and rate it in regards to the toxic load. So it is a great reference, and there's a lot of information on there as well to make informed choices. Last little tip, something that I use at home and I find really effective as an all-purpose cleaner. Just grab a little, there we go, white vinegar, some baking soda, and a lovely lemon. Works every time.
Thanks, Victoria, for joining us. You're always full of great information, and I hope you'll join us again soon. Now, as a resident of Georgetown, and especially in this beautiful park district, we're always looking for new and exciting things to be doing. I'm excited to be sitting next to Executive Chef Matt Sutherland from Fat Cat Wine Bar in Toronto, because he's got a very exciting announcement. Welcome to WOWTV.
Thank you very much, Margaret. Yeah, we are opening a new place out here in Georgetown. I heard that there might have been a need for a place. I've come out, I've got some great friends out here. I love the area, love the neighborhood. And we are opening a new place. It's going to be called Latitude. We're opening on Main Street here in Georgetown. And we're kind of shooting for the end of September. So hope you'll all come down. It's going to be a great place to come see your friends, and you will be there.
You betcha. And I mean, we live in a community where a lot of people like us moved here because we can walk to things. Walking to a neighborhood restaurant with good, whole food is right up my alley. Tell us a little bit about your vision.
Well, it's going to be upscale casual, I guess, something very approachable. As I say, it's going to be the great place where you see your neighbors, people can walk to. It'll be worth the drive as well. But it's just that nice casual place. You can bring your family, bring your kids. It'll have nice little wine list, oysters, little raw bar. We've got a nice little cocktail section. It'll be really fun. Just a good place to go and just, as I say, see your neighbors, be in the community, and enjoy some good food.
Oh, we are so excited. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the phenomenal prize that you have given to one of our studio audience to be one of the first people to enjoy it.
Come in for a tasting.
We can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, one of the great things about WOW-TV is we've got prizes, Paul.
We do.
We've got great prizes. Actually, Honeywell has provided us with some fabulous air purifiers. These things are worth $300 a piece.
Pretty impressive.
I think we should draw. What do you say?
Let's do it. Okay.
You can do the honors.
Thank you very much. And you can follow Honeywell on Twitter at Honeywell Plugin.
Okay.
The first winner is Nancy Brooker. Congratulations.
Nice, nice. Okay, another one.
Yeah, well, let's keep it going.
Let's keep going.
And the second lucky winner is Valerie Romanello.
Nice.
Congratulations.
And we do have one more. We're not going to draw for that here. You can actually win that on Twitter.
That's correct. Just keep interacting on #WOWTV and you'll find out how to win.
Stick around. WOW-TV. We're good for prizes. Yeah. Stay with us.
Hi there, it's Dan Petkoff from Taylor Living of Toronto. I'm here today to talk to you about the fact that it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg to do a renovation for your home. We do garage renovations, home office renovations, any type of renovation you want to do in your home, we do it to meet your budget. Please give me a call. I'd love to come out and talk to you.
Well, Sharon, what a show. Was that not a lot of fun?
It was fun, and when you say fun, it automatically makes me think of that power of play. I never thought of going to the dollar store and finding so many fun things to play with and be active and be fit.
Well, that just goes to show you the youth fitness guy. He's hanging out with the Rangers, the New York Rangers, and he knows how to put a smile on children's and adults' faces.
And we ate a lot of good food today.
We sure do. Thank you, Chef Mike. That was fantastic. And of course, to all of our special guests, you really did make the show what we had dreamed it could be.
Most certainly. Boy, I enjoyed the Gnaw chocolate. We want to say thanks for bringing that out. That was amazing.
Chocolate makes every party. And of course, it is healthy for you. And of course, to our live studio audience, we couldn't have done this without you. Your energy is contagious. And it was just so much fun to have you here. And let's not forget about everybody out there in Twitter world.
That's right. Well, #WOWTV's been busy, and we encourage you to continue to engage with us, even when the show is all said and done. Visit us, interact with us. Let us know what you'd like to see on the show.
Absolutely. And if you are potentially a sponsor or maybe you've got a special event, our WOW team can come live to you. We can take this show on the road.
We will too. So #WOWTV and of course wowliving.tv if you're online.
Yeah, so be sure to share this. We'll have it up on YouTube. And of course, good luck, or congratulations, not good luck, to all of those winners. And thanks again to all of our sponsors. Now, of course, stay tuned for our fall lineup. We've got a great lineup coming your way of all kinds of things. The one-stop health and wellness destination for your entire family.
That's it. So thanks for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon. #WOWTV, don't forget it.
And until next time, remember, attitudes are contagious. Is yours worth catching? Stay well.